Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where the WWE creative team is cordially invited to suck Matt's dick. It's Lost in the Midcard. Merry Christmas, everybody. If you couldn't tell by that open, Merry Christmas. Our special Christmas edition of Lost in the Midcard coming at you a day earlier than normal on Wednesday. It's going to be a shorter show than normal. We're going to cover some headlines. Not many headlines really to speak of, but a couple of major things happened since we last recorded. If you can't tell, Matt's not happy with the WWE, so I will briefly comb over Roadblock and Raw. We are recording before SmackDown Live, so we will not talk about SmackDown Live. Maybe comb over it. Actually, we probably won't even talk about it because this will probably be our last show of the year. Then we'll come back either the first or second week of January with hopefully Matt not hating creative. And we'll get ready for the Royal Rumble. As that's still
we should be back. We should be back on the 5th of January.
Yep, I might be gone for a week. Then we'll see.
You son of a bitch.
We'll see.
Well, if I had my way, folks, we'd be back on the 5th of January. We'll see what happens.
I'll keep you posted. It'll either be it'll either be the 5th or 12th, one of the two. We'll see what happens there. So we're just going to cover some headlines, briefly comb over Roadblock and Raw, and also talk about the Total Nonstop Deletion. But then, of course, we're going to end the show with our Marky nominations. And we're doing it a little differently this year. I've come up with the collaboration. Of course, I mean, we've done 50 shows together, so I've got a good idea. But there may be some things I've left out, so then Matt will let me know if he doesn't agree with anything or forgot something. So, but first off, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. To subscribe to us, all you got to do is do a search for Lost in the Midcard and subscribe. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Thursday or Monday after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, and the links to all that are on our Facebook page. Go to the notes section of Facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, and you'll be able to find those very easily there. And we're also on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers, and as always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. And based on the open, Matt, we know how you're doing, but hey, how you doing anyways?
Well, if we're not talking about the WWE, I'm actually doing quite well.
Good.
After Roadblock, I decided I was not going to watch Raw as it aired. I got through it very quickly on DVR because that's all that needed to be done with it. They did a lot of things that I expected them to do, and it did not surprise me at all. I would say the last 48 hours of WWE Creative is some of the worst they've put out in a very long time. And I'm honest to God, I'm just tired of it. I've gotten to the point where, getting so bent out of shape over the stupidity of that company, isn't doing me any good. So I'm just gonna ignore them for the rest of the year and hope that, when they come back, when we roll back around the new year, they're on a better track. They're on the road to the Royal Rumble, which is, on the road to WrestleMania, and hopefully the product will be better in a couple weeks' time. Because right now, they sure as fuck feel like they're rolling in cruise control right now.
Yep. They seem to like to do that every once in a while. All ready for Christmas?
Yeah, Christmas should be solid. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I finally got everything. There's one thing that I got that won't be here in time, but everything else came today. Fine, so I've got that all finalized. That's good to go. It'll be a whirlwind because for some stupid reason we got to work on the 26th.
That sounds sorry.
I thought it's so weird because I figured, I didn't even look at our vacation calendar. I just figured, Christmas is on a Sunday. We get Monday off. No, we got to work on Monday. But yet we get the Monday after New Year's Day off. which totally makes no sense. I think it has to do with year-end, because in the insurance business, year-end is the busiest time of year. Probably has to do something with it, but oh well. So it'll be a very quick weekend for me. We do get off early Friday, so then I'll head out of town Friday, go up north a couple hours, see my girlfriend. It's her birthday on Friday, so happy birthday, Nikki. Be there Friday, Saturday, and then I'll make another 2-hour trek to my mom's town in Nebraska City, and spend Sunday there. Hoping to wake up early enough to get on the road and get there in time to watch the Celtics game, as they're the first of 5 games on Christmas Day, and then Sunday night head on home and get ready to work. Get ready to work on Monday morning. So should be a good time. Before we get to headlines, we're going to get to the main headline here right now. Literally, just hours after we got done recording, WWE held a press conference at the O2 in London, England, where Triple H announced that the first ever WWE United Kingdom champion will be crowned on the WWE Network over the course of 2 days, January 14th and 15th, a 2-day tournament. It's going to air live on the WWE Network. 16 competitors will compete in this tournament in Blackpool, England, at the Empress Ballroom, which is a very cool venue and a very historic venue. And it's also Blackpool is the home of William Regal. Not only that, which was kind of funny, Matt and I were hypothesizing why Nigel McGuinness was getting rid of his matchmaking title in Ring of Honor. It's because he went to the WWE. He is going to be the color commentator with Michael Cole for this tournament, which is very cool, because I think Nigel as a color commentator has been great on Ring of Honor. So I think he'll fit in well. Matt, I think this is a cool thing, because it's supposed to potentially lead to another series on the WWE Network. What are your thoughts on the UK Championship and Nigel McGuinness coming over?
Well, first off, I feel it was really out of nowhere. Not the Nigel McGuinness thing. I actually heard rumblings of that happening. So that really doesn't surprise me. I'm very happy for him, though. And if anybody saw the Nigel documentary that was released several years back, how badly this guy wanted to end up in WWE. Few people, in my mind, deserve it more than Nigel to finally end up where he feels he always belonged, and I believe that he always belonged. So I'm super happy for him. I'll be perfectly honest. Like when the Cruiserweight Classic was announced, I knew probably half or a little more than half of the competitors in that bracket. I don't know anybody out of this UK tournament. Either. I don't know anybody. I mean, so this is all new to me. If the stuff's being ran by Triple H and Regal, I will gladly give it a chance. And I hope the tournament's great. I hope the weekly TV show's good. Any Triple H run product out of the WWE umbrella right now is fantastic. So
guys like William Regal and Finn Balor are ecstatic for it. So I think it's only I think they're going to take talents from Progress and Rev Pro and Insane Championship Wrestling. I think they're going to take talents from them from there, create their own basically another brand like NXT, like 205 Live. And do you think there's going to be bleed in with the main roster at all? Is this going to be kind of like a European Championship, or is this going to be completely segregated from us here in the United States, Matt? From the way I understand it, it's going to be completely segregated from the North American branded WWE. This is the product's going to be exclusively ran over there. Every like a weekly TV show. I'm hearing that a good majority of the talents that are going to compete in this tournament are still going to be allowed to work for the independent promotions over there, like ICW, Rev Pro, stuff like that. Yeah, they are. So, I mean, that's a great thing for not only,
the independent wrestling scene in the UK, but the WWE as well, because they're going to help make these independent companies a lot more known to the people that didn't know about them previously. I mean, I've heard of these companies, but I'm not familiar with these companies, if that makes sense. You know, they're not really something that's easily accessible over here to watch. But no, I'm excited about it. I really thought we would hear about the tournament announcement before this, kind of like the Cruiserweight Classic, but for women. Because I do continue to hear that that's coming in 2017. But yeah, this is only like a 2-night tournament. They're going to air it live. So I mean, I'm excited to see what they do. Like I said, if this was a Vince McMahon run thing, I would already be expecting it to fail. But since it's
Magnus would have won the tournament.
Oh my God. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded if Magnus was in this. At least it would have been a name I would have known. Honestly, it would have been nice to have like Zack Sabre Jr. or just somebody in this tournament that I heard of. That wouldn't have been bad at all. But they chose to go a different route, so it is what it is. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I like the new stuff. The WWE Network, for my dollar, is a hell of a lot more entertaining than anything I see on Monday nights from the WWE lately. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely. This is very cool, and I kind of like how there's nobody we know in here. It's a whole fresh thing.
It would have been nice to have like one person. Just like a name to attract the common viewer in. I think would have been a good idea.
Maybe they're not trying to attract the common viewer yet. I don't know.
Maybe not. I just
a lot of the common viewers don't even watch NXT. So
well, you're right about that. But I don't know how much of the diehard, and I consider myself a diehard NXT fan, and I love the Cruiserweight Classic. I kind of pride myself on knowing a lot about the independent wrestling scene and what goes on in Japan and whatnot. And they named all these guys off, and I'm like, I don't know any of them. Mm-hmm. So it kind of just made me feel like, wow, what target are they? What demographic are they targeting here? Because the UK, I don't know these people. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think Finn Balor wasn't he at Insane before New Japan?
At some point, he was also there at their December event as a special guest. Just a few weeks ago. So
either Insane or Rev Pro. He was at one of those right before New Japan. It'll be interesting to see. Triple H did a Q&A shortly after the announcement. He did a Q&A with Newsweek. And he was asked a few questions here. First one, whether the UK Championship Tournament is the start of WWE moving into creating more localized territories. Funny how they said the word territories, because that's what Vince killed. Triple H says, the network allows us to do things that weren't possible for us to do before. The world becomes a smaller and smaller place because of that. You connect to everyone at the same time. We've been in the UK for 30 years. We built up a demand for product here to come in and super serve them. This puts our foot in the ground, and it won't be our home away from home. It'll be our home. That solidifies that. For plans after the UK Championship, plans for the UK Championship after the tournament, he says, we're seeing what this will become. It's not a science yet. The hope is that it'll become its own weekly show based out of the UK with UK talent. Those talents will still be able to perform within their independent companies as talents working in the UK and moving up in the industry. We're helping Rev Pro, ICW, and Progress to grow and help cultivate their talent pool as well. Before it was a pipe dream that you'd make it beyond the UK or indie scene to the WWE. Now there's a clear path to do so. As for future plans in the UK, Triple H said, we'll run 30 live events in the UK in 2017, and we want to do more things here. This tournament is putting our foot in the ground and doing more here within the market. And then kind of out of off topic, they said his thoughts on the Lesnar-Goldberg finish at Survivor Series. He said people never saw it coming. When you shock them, they're angry that you shocked them. But when you don't shock them, they say it's too predictable.
I'm never angry. I know there's a lot of people that get angry when they get shocked. I like to be shocked. Because honestly, one of my major complaints about WWE is even though creatively I know what they're going to do, I hope they prove me wrong and they don't do the shitty direction that I predict that they're going to do, and then they do the shitty prediction, the shitty direction that I know they're going to do, and I get more pissed off. Like, I'd rather you surprise me than, give me the same old shit and make me want to throw my head against the wall. So I like to be surprised. I loved the Goldberg finish. Fuck everybody who didn't.
I just think people may have been pissed at the length of the match. Maybe that's about it. But
to me, they booked Goldberg vintage WCW.
Yeah,
like the year that Goldberg was in the WWE, they never booked him correctly.
No.
Correctly. He was never booked like Goldberg.
I'm not arguing with you. I agree that it was awesome. I'm just saying that's probably why people, at least that were in attendance, that paid money to see it, like, hundreds of bucks to see it, maybe were pissed.
Dude, I'd have been the happiest motherfucker on the planet walking out of that building that night if I'd have been in the building to see that live.
Yeah, most of those people probably didn't see Goldberg's run and don't know what the fuck they're seeing, and
Goldberg's the man. I can't wait to see him back at the Rumble.
Yeah, it'll be amazing.
I think he'll probably be on some Raws before Royal Rumble, which will probably make them more bearable.
Total Nonstop Deletion was this past week, and it was glorious, to say the least.
If you say
Matt,
so.
You didn't get a chance to see it. Oh, come on. I mean, you liked the final deletion and Deleter Decay, right?
Well, I still know Dixie Carter's a part of the company.
Well, she wasn't at all on camera here, so don't worry about it. We got our usual disclaimers from
Matt Hardy was probably like, "Get the fuck off my lawn, bitch."
Yeah, I mean, Matt Hardy was the man in charge for this event. So,
his house, his rules.
The Dome of Deletion is where this takes place, which is with the barn, which you saw in the first final deletion, where they had the match start in. The Dome of Deletion is where this all takes place. I believe 50 of the closest friends got to be a part of the crowd. And the crowd, for only 50 people in the crowd, it was a pretty good crowd for chants and stuff like that. Basically, your typical Matt Hardy promo to start it off, and Rockstar Spud interrupts, and Spud says that he's sick of everybody, the gardener, the drone, the wife, and most of all, that little kid of his getting all the television time. That kid's more over than I am. Well, he is Spud. So he challenges the King Maxwell to a match. And so King Maxwell has his TNA in-ring debut. Basically, Senior Benjamin with the pink taser tases Spud. King Maxwell covers for the 1-2-3. So King Maxwell is now 1-0 in TNA. We got a Disco Inferno cameo. They show Bobby Lashley showing up at the compound. And Eddie Edwards comes out of the woods because he's a wolf, I guess. Lashley will face off for the TNA title. They did a little skit with the local news team, which was kind of funny, kind of cheesy, but kind of funny. There was an on-site reporter, and there was roadblocks, and Helms shows up with Helms Dynasty in a truck and trying to get through, and she goes, "There's some sort of natural disaster in there," and Helms says, "I'm an expert at that sort of thing." Kind of funny. Not the first wink and nod we'll have with the Hurricane, just to let you know. The legendary Rock and Roll Express arrives at the Hardy compound. Matt is delighted that they're here for Apocalypto. Sienna's in the ring, and she said she came here looking for Rosemary, who is now the TNA Women's Champion. But she's permanently banned from the Hardy compound when she tried to kidnap King Maxwell, so instead she issues a challenge to anyone who will face her for the number one contendership for the Knockouts title. And the challenge was answered by Vanguard 1. Yes, Vanguard 1 answered the challenge, but the referee would not let him fight. And the ref ejects Vanguard 1, and he leaves. But then Sienna says, "I will face a person, any person." And out comes a returning ODB to a nice ovation there. So Sienna and ODB have themselves a pretty good match there. Sienna gets the win. The in-ring debut of Itchweed as he took on some jabroni. Basically just kind of a comedy match with Jeff Hardy's alter ego. TNA World Title match between Eddie Edwards and Lashley was a pretty standard, decent, good match. But the action spills to the outside, and Lashley spears Eddie through a door, and they're now laying on the ground outside, and they go to commercial, which then leads to the tag team Apocalypto. And Matt says that the TNA World Title match will continue while Tag Team Apocalypto goes on. Basically, Tag Team Apocalypto is just a big, gigantic match of devastation between a bunch of tag teams up until the final team standing wins. It's hard to run down Apocalypto with so much shit going on, but it was typical Final Deletion. Tag Team Apocalypto was great, so if you have not had a chance to watch it, I do recommend you watch the entire Total Nonstop Deletion. It was complete departure from what TNA does. It was a Matt Hardy run show. Look was different. The announcers were different. The layout was different. Everything was different. It was really cool. Matt, you remember the lake? What is it called? The Lake of Reincarnation, right? Greg Helms got thrown into the lake, and guess what he came out as?
Yeah, I heard.
The Hurricane.
Oh, I heard he came out as 3 count too.
Oh, he came out as 3 count too, yes. And he goes, "You're not Shannon, and you're not that other jabroni that didn't have a career after 3 count." But yeah, that was kind of funny. A lot of stuff there going on. Rockstar Spud is talking shit to Decay, saying he's got a tag team partner coming, and he's bigger than all of you. And that turned out to be Hornswoggle. So it was fun though. It was a good show. And of course, in the end, the Broken Hardys win. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, I thought. And it ended in saying that 6 members of the Hardy House will rebuild. And Rebby goes, "Actually 7." And Matt goes, "You're pregnant? Wonderful." So Rebby's pregnant again.
Delightful. How do you not mention the funniest line of the entire show that's been all over the internet since that happened?
Oh, what did it was probably during Apocalypto, and there was so much shit going on there. We have
the line about Triple H.
Oh,
you have to mention that to the people. That was I heard that and that popped me. So
the Hurricane, when he got incarnated to the Hurricane, he turned on Trevor Lee and the other guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, the Helms Dynasty. He turned on him, and Hurricane was actually helping Matt fight the Helms Dynasty. They got the upper hand and threw them into a couple of graves. And let me get the quote here. They threw him in a couple of graves, and then basically we're throwing dirt on them. And once they got done throwing dirt on them, God, where's the? Okay, here we go. I gotta find the line. Matt tells the Hurricane that he was back. He was happy to see him on the side of the light. And then he tells Helms that even the man with 3 H's would be proud of the way we buried these promising young talents. Even the man with 3 H's. Even the man with 3 H's would be proud of the way we buried these young talents.
Love you, Matt.
Oh my God, I cannot wait. They're coming to the WWE. They gotta be.
They ain't coming without creative control, though.
Oh, it's gonna be,
and that's the whole thing. If they don't give them creative control, they're not coming. So,
it's gonna be. They're gonna be broken. Rest assured.
Well, no, I mean, I'm telling. If they come in and Vince tries to alter their shit, Matt ain't gonna have anything to do with it.
Mm-mm.
So they're gonna come in with creative control over their characters, and they're not coming in.
Triple H will be saying,
I feel like Matt knows better at this point.
Triple H will be like, listen, Vance, I can't.
It was the worst Triple H impression ever.
I just took a swig of Diet Pepsi and hiccuped, and I can't do a good Triple H anyways. You do a better one, so. Shut up, pal! Roadblock.
What is this broken shit? Doesn't make any sense. Push Braun Strowman.
If you could sum up Roadblock quickly, what were your thoughts?
A train wreck?
Okay. I didn't even watch the kickoff show, but it was short, and Rusev got the win because they tricked Cass. I don't know, it was stupid. The best thing probably about the show, probably the Raw Tag Team Championships. I thought this was a great match. Amazing finish. A lot of good near falls.
I will say I liked the finish.
Yeah, that was really cool. Especially
because I've never seen it done before.
The fake tag, that was cool. I did not think they were going to Sheamus and Cesaro were going to win, but they did, and then Cesaro hugs the New Day hugs Cesaro, and then Sheamus snatches the belts away, and so apparently Sheamus is still the booyah, as we talked about.
It's Team Hell No 2.0.
Yeah, I thought maybe they would start getting along and be a cool tag team instead of this annoying shit. But anyways, yeah. But a good match, one of the highlights of the day. Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman went basically as predicted. Zayn getting the shit beat out of him. Foley comes out. Strowman talks shit to Foley. Zayn with a comeback in the last 2 minutes and survives.
Hey!
And
hey!
What?
If this ran to a time limit, why didn't this go into sudden death overtime?
Yeah.
Why did this just end in a draw with Sami Zayn winning? Fuck you, WWE Creative. You're right. You're goddamn shit on the same fucking show. Fuck off.
Seth Rollins, Chris Jericho was a good match too, though.
With the very
except the finish. Yeah,
Owens.
I mean, God, how many times do we got to do that?
Ray Charles saw that finish coming.
Yeah, I mean, good match though, but finish was stupid. The Cruiserweight Championship was a little underperforming. It was not bad, but not a wow. Did you kind of get that feeling on the Cruiserweight match as well, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the Cruiserweight match just felt like they were just... It was done to do what happened after the match. I think the main match as itself was an afterthought.
And how cool was it? I thoroughly enjoyed it. Neville makes a return, and he has a beard. Uh-oh. If he's got a beard, look out. Might be a bad guy. He has a history with Rich Swann. Swann thought he was there to congratulate him. No, he congratulated him with a forearm, and then Neville proceeded to beat the holy shit out of him and T.J. Perkins. I thought that heel turn was amazing, Matt.
It was needed.
It was
honestly they needed it. They needed it. They need to bring Neville back into the forefront. They've neglected him more than long enough. This is one of the few things on this show that I felt they actually did right. And I can't wait to see where it goes from here.
I'll talk about it here in a little bit, but his promo on Raw was sweet too, I thought. And later on tonight, as we record on Tuesday night, 205 Live, there will be a tag match with Rich Swann and TJ against the Brian Kendrick and Neville. So it'll be a little more flavor into 205 Live, and I like it. Kevin Owens walked to a door that said Jericho on it and said, basically, please forgive me, blah, blah, blah. But no response at all. And Kevin kept trying to talk, no response. And then he finally walks away. They make the mention that Charlotte is 14-0 in pay-per-view matches, and we should this year, single matches. Not this year, but overall 14-0 in pay-per-view matches in singles competition. So maybe that should have made me think, oh, they're going to put it on Charlotte. I thought the match was fine in itself, Matt. I thought it was a decent, it was a good match overall, but what gets me is Sasha tapping out with 2 seconds left. Seriously. You're in that move for a minute, and you can't hold on another 2 seconds, even if it injured the fuck out of you. I mean, am I on the right track here of how stupid that was?
I'm not responding to this.
Okay.
Because
I might be on.
It's not. It won't be pretty if I do. I'm not going to discuss this. I've already kind of said my 2 cents earlier. I'm not talking about this.
Universal Championship match between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. Again, good match. Great match between these two guys, but the ending, weird. Jericho hitting a code breaker and then hugging KO. I guess it was kind of... I kind of equaled it to Major League. The movie Major League, when Ricky Vaughn sleeps with Dorn's wife, and after they clinch the pennant and they're celebrating, Dorn punches Ricky Vaughn and then picks him back up and they start celebrating again. That was kind of how I paralleled the Chris Jericho hitting a codebreaker and then hugging Kevin Owens and they're best friends again. Which is the way to keep Kevin Owens with the title. And that's how we start off Monday Night Raw. The last episode for Christmas in Columbus, Ohio, where Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho start off the show as their best friends, of course. And then Chris Jericho said to Santa Claus, "Santa, you know what happens, Santa, when you steal my gimmick? You know what happens? You know what happens, Santa Claus, Mr. Kris Kringle? You just made the list!" And... predictably, Mick Foley comes out because you don't talk shit about Santa Claus in front of Mick Foley, right, Matt? The dude has a hard-on for Santa Claus.
That would be a good way to explain it.
He has a hard-on for Santa. He has his own Christmas room, goddammit. And Foley was wearing some interesting get-up, like a leather jacket, smoking. It was like a smoking jacket, and he had a fanny pack on, and wow. And Foley said that that Roman Reigns will face Kevin Owens once again for the Universal title at Royal Rumble. And hey, look, let's gimmick infringe NXT. Chris Jericho's going to be in a shark cage. Though it was funny when Jericho got in the cage, not knowing that Foley was going to lock it and say, "When I give the signal at the Royal Rumble," and they lifted Jericho up. That was kind of funny. It was one of this opening segment was like the entire Raw in a nutshell. Funny moments mixed in with stupid moments all in the same segment. Repeat to the next segment. Some funny moments, but there were some stupid moments, and repeat to the next segment. That's just kind of how Raw felt to me this week.
Works for me.
Rusev and Cass, that went about a minute. With this was angry Cass getting himself disqualified because his little buddy got hurt. Sasha Banks makes her entrance. She has a brace on her knee and using a crutch to help her get down to the ring. Sasha gives her I gave it all my all speech before Nia Jax comes out and says that she'll never be a boss to her and that she's weak and just a wounded little girl. Jax kicks the crutch away and then tosses Sasha across the ring to set up the feud. We all know that was coming. Braun Strowman is going nuts backstage. And he's getting a little physical with some of the stagehands. And Foley comes in and he tells Foley that he wants to fight Sami Zayn again. Foley says that Zayn's got the night off, and he goes, "Well, you're gonna see what or else means," and storms off. The greatest thing that happened to the commentary team since Corey Graves joining Monday Night Raw is Austin Aries joining Monday Night Raw. Anytime they do a cruiserweight match. Can we just get him to replace Saxton now, Matt?
Oh, please.
It's great when Graves and Aries tag team on Michael Cole, too.
Like, anybody who's given Aries crap on his commentary sticks so far needs to shut the fuck up. Because he's one of the shining lights of the program, WWE programming over the past month. For somebody who has little to no commentary experience, for as good as he's doing, like less than a month in, is fucking phenomenal.
I personally bitch slap whoever's dissing Aries on commentary. Man, he's been awesome. I'm not quite sure what to make of the Cedric Alexander Fox thing, and Noam Dar trying to get with Fox is creepy. So I'm not hating it. I'm not loving it, but I'm not hating it just yet. Just kind of an I don't know with this, but hey, it's a story for the cruiserweights.
What a shit story.
Yeah. New Day made their entrance. Gave a little spiel. And then a bunch of other tag teams came out, and this led to an 8-man tag match. Not much really to note there. Not really much to note until, I guess, the rematch happens with the New Day and Sheamus and Cesaro. Neville comes out, said that it's been a long time since people have cheered for him. He did acknowledge that the people were cheering for him on Monday Night Raw and also cheering for him at the pay-per-view because it was kind of an awesome moment. He goes, they cheer for him because they think he's vulnerable, think he's small, and they feel sorry for him. Neville says, I don't want any of your pity or sympathy. Neville says that it is a warning that if your favorite is on 205 Live, you better watch out because he's going to obliterate the division. Very cool promo. Witch Swan comes out and basically telling Neville to shut the hell up. It almost seemed like 205 Live or a Cruiserweight division was like ripping off their own storylines, like before when the shark cage thing, which ripped off from the Dusty Classic. It almost seemed like the Cruiserweight division was ripping off their own storyline with T.J. Perkins and Brian Kendrick as they were with Rich Swann and Neville. So I was starting to think to myself, what the fuck are they doing? We already went down this road. Kind of made a little more sense then when Kendrick came out and took the side of Swann. They took the side of Neville and they beat down Swann until TJ made the save. So it kind of made a little more sense. But at the beginning, I was kind of thinking, the fuck, we've already done this storyline, guys. Are we already out of storylines for the Cruiserweights? My definition of this Monday Night Raw, some kind of funny stuff mixed in with a lot of stupid stuff. Well, that would be the sensitivity training that Enzo had to go through. I liked the beatdown.
It was a really bad redo of Kane and Daniel Bryan at, the couples therapy or whatever the hell it was, anger management. It was totally, They tried to recreate that and they did a terrible job. And, the only thing I could take from that was that the girl the actress they had playing the main reminded me a lot of Layla.
Yeah, it was more bad than good.
Yeah, it was 99% bad.
Titus O'Neil and Sin Cara had a match that stemmed from the pre-show, I guess, but that went about a minute before Braun Strowman killed everybody. And Sin Cara became the best WWE Javelin they have on their roster. Holy fuck, that was a bump that he took off the stage. Chris Jericho and Owens in the locker room, and I liked when Jericho referred to himself as a sexy pinata. That was kind of funny. Charlotte and Bayley had their usual promo jabs, and it led to a match. The match was fine, not a bad match. They gave them 15 minutes even, with Bayley getting the win. So now they're saying she's 3-0 against Charlotte. But of course, when you go against the undefeated lady at the pay-per-view, Bayley's not going to win it. Another Emelina video. She's coming sometime this decade. And then the main event was Rollins and Reigns against Owens and Jericho, which ended in a disqualification after 17 minutes because Braun Strowman decided to kill everybody, which I liked. I liked the Braun Strowman attacking the main event too. I thought that was well done. The main event itself was good, so I don't have any complaints about that. But as Matt said, overall, not a good Raw.
The only good thing that could come out of the finish of the show is that they put the United States Championship on Braun Strowman before Roman Reigns gets his second straight shot at the fucking main title in the Raw brand when he already holds the second title.
I'm seeing people either, I don't know if this is speculation, rumor, or just people worried, but people are worried or speculating or guessing that it might be Strowman Reigns for the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
Maybe
for the United States title.
I hope so.
But that's it. They're not they're doing that. I don't even know. Just stop.
Interesting news here. There was a little meeting in Baltimore a couple of weeks ago with Ring of Honor management and Dave Lagana and Billy Corgan. What do you make of that, Matt? What do you like that?
Hopefully
you like
something good.
Exactly.
They can team up and bury TNA into the pits of hell to where it belongs. More power.
Steal everybody in the process.
Be great.
And ESPN did an interview with Lil Rush recently. Pretty cool interview there. So if you go to ESPN.com, do a search for that and check that out. A couple of quick tidbits here before we get into the marquees. Brock Lesnar has to pay a fine of $250,000 and serve a 1-year suspension for the drug tests he failed at UFC 200. Zack Ryder is got a knee injury, and unfortunately it's going to be 4 to 6 months or 6 to 9 months. So 4 to 9 months, we'll just say. Hopefully Zach gets well soon. He could just watch vignettes of Emelina to help him heal. And Matt, you didn't get to watch Total Nonstop Deletion, but Broken Matt Hardy has a gift for you. A digital video disc of my broken brilliance has been ordered by the 7 deities. These illustrious events must be documented for posterity. That basically means Total Nonstop Deletion is going to be out for DVD. All right, let's wrap up the show with the Markies, our second annual Marky Awards. By God, doing a little different this time. I put them together, and on the air, we're going to debate if these are good enough nominees. If I missed something,
he hasn't told me shit. So this is live as it happens, folks.
It is, and that's the way I wanted to do it.
On ridiculous wackiness that only we can provide.
Hopefully, we can get through this in a hurry because we don't want to miss SmackDown Live. So let's get to it.
You don't want to miss James Ellsworth when the WWE World Championship, because that's the direction WWE creative's gone this week.
The tears I will shed, Matt, I will be able to make a lake out of. So let's get right to it. WWE Tag Team of the Year. Each of these categories have 4 nominees, by the way, and the nominees are Enzo and Cass, The New Day, Gallows and Anderson, Slater, and Rhino. Those work for you, Matt?
I guess.
I guess.
I'm not sure how much I feel Enzo and Cass, or even as much as I hate to say it, Anderson and Gallows belong in that list. I'd make an argument for American Alpha, or even Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, for that matter, over what some of those tag teams like. Enzo and Cass haven't done shit, since they got up to the main roster.
But they've gotten over, at least. I mean, I guess wrestling-wise, no. Well, we all know who's going to probably win anyways, but we won't say that yet. Wrestling-wise, no, but they've gotten over big time, So I think they deserve a nod. NXT Tag Team of the Year, American Alpha.
Okay, all right, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I weighing it out, I think I felt they fit this better this year.
That's fine. I can see that. I'm cool with that. I still make a case for Orton and Wyatt. I know they've only been together for like 3 months, but they're kind of dope.
Okay, let's take out Gallows and Anderson, and we'll take out Anderson and Gallows, and we'll put in Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Okay, NXT Tag Team of the Year, the nominees are American Alpha, The Revival, DIY, and the Authors of Pain. Those look good for you?
Yeah, that's exactly who I would have put in.
Ring of Honor Tag Team of the Year, The Addiction, Young Bucks, War Machine, The Briscoes.
Dig it.
WWE Women's Wrestler of the Year. Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss.
I get why you're putting Bliss in there, but that to me, that's like one of these things are not like the other. And Bliss kind of stands out like a sore thumb.
But the 6 months she's had on that main roster have been phenomenal.
I will reluctantly agree with that for now because we all know it's a two-person race anyway.
Yeah. NXT Women's Wrestler of the Year. The nominees are Bayley, Asuka, Nia Jax, and Alexa Bliss.
You can't have Bliss in two categories, you son of a gun.
Well, she actually was half of NXT this year and half in WWE.
Make a pick. If we're throwing Bliss in the NXT thing, we're gonna have to put Nikki Bella in on the main roster. Because Nikki Bella's been there half a year too.
Okay, we'll take Bliss out and put Bella in on the main roster.
All right. Because we can't put her in for both. That's not fair.
WWE Breakthrough Wrestler of the Year. This is going to be men and women combined. Alexa Bliss, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, and Braun Strowman.
Breakthroughs. Ellsworth not in there.
I had Ellsworth in there, and then I took him out for Zayn. Should we take out Zayn because
Zayn's been here for years. To be fair.
I
don't
James
really consider
Ellsworth.
Zayn a breakthrough talent.
Yeah, okay. James Ellsworth clearly broke through. I mean, a jobber has never had that kind of. Alexa Bliss, has shown.
You got a hard on for Alexa Bliss right now, don't you?
Duh.
At least you admit it.
Baron Corbin has been great on the main roster, and Braun Strowman, man, I've told you, they're holding back on him, and I'm liking what I see with Braun. So, I got to go with that. I had a hard time coming up with four guys and girls for NXT Breakthrough Wrestler of the Year, Matt. So maybe you might not agree with the fourth one, but maybe just have them in there to fill out the roster. I don't know. But for NXT Breakthrough Wrestler of the Year, I have Ember Moon, No Way Jose, Johnny Gargano, and Austin Aries. I put Aries in there because many people may not have been familiar with him, but, he made a name for himself in the Corbin match. The feud with the Tommy was great, and he's new to NXT, so I had to fill it out, and that's the only thing I could think of, unless you have somebody I'm forgetting.
I personally would have put Rich Swann in that spot.
For NXT?
He was NXT before the Cruiserweight Classic even happened.
But was he in NXT that much? He was more like a jobber on NXT, right?
Well, he got injured.
Okay. All right, I'll put Rich Swann.
I would put Swann in over Aries. The same reason I can't see Aries in that category is the same reason I can't see Bobby Roode in that category. To say that neither of those guys had not already broken through,
yeah,
I just can't say that about either of those. To me, I feel that's a disservice to those guys.
I was having a hard time filling it out. That's why
I would have to go with Rich Swann. I think he's had a hell of a breakout year, and most of it has been on like the NXT Cruiserweight division, which, let's face it, the Cruiserweight Classic was kind of like a division of WWE NXT. Mm-hmm. So
and we do have a Cruiserweight of the Year category too. So
okay, cool, all right, but yeah, I'm
not arguing with you. So yeah, we'll put Rich Swann in there. I had a hard time filling out the nominees on that.
Yeah, I'd have to go Swann. I like No Way Jose on there. He definitely belongs. Ember Moon belongs. I'm not 100% sold on Johnny Gargano being on there, but I would put him on there before I put Aries on there. So if I had more time to think about it, I'd probably find a replacement for Gargano too. But now I'm on the spot. I'm blanking at the moment. So
I had a hard time getting 4. So
well, maybe we'll come up with something off the air. But for now, we'll leave it as is.
Ring of Honor Breakthrough Wrestler of the Year. The nominees are Jay White, Leo Rush, Hangman Page, and Will Ospreay.
You know, Will Ospreay's only been with the company for like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, that was another category where we had to kind of... There was a bunch of breakthrough
that's
nominees
fine.
last year.
Will Ospreay, like, not even Ring of Honor in general, it's just his year he's had in the professional wrestling industry. I think he had a breakthrough year. So the fact that he is in the Ring of Honor organization now, I'll allow it.
Villain of the Year. Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Adam Cole, baby, Matt Hardy.
I was going to say, if Broken Matt Hardy isn't in this, mean you're going to have a problem. Because his villain work this year has been wonderful. So yeah, I don't have an issue with that list at all.
WWE Comeback Wrestler of the Year. Basically an established guy that's been up and then has been down and is back up. Last year, for example, Kofi Kingston for his work with The New Day. This year, the nominees are The Miz, Chris Jericho, Heath Slater, Zack Ryder.
Kind of upset Goldberg's not in there, but I agree with everybody that is.
Well, Goldberg really didn't really have a down period. These are kind of more guys that have rebounded.
Well, you said comeback of the year, and I think comeback. I think of what Goldberg did. So, but no, I can't argue with. I can't argue with anybody that you named. They all had a very good rebound year for the most part. So,
WWE Cruiserweight of the Year: T.J. Perkins, Brian Kendrick, Rich Swann, and Gran Metalik.
I wish Gran Metalik's been on the roster more. I know he's finishing up his Mexican wrestling commitments right now.
I put him in there because he made the finals of the Cruiserweight.
Yeah,
Classic, so.
I know. I totally get why you put him there.
Noam Dar?
I was gonna say no. Yeah. Man, Dar and
Gulak or Nese?
or even Tony Nese.
Let's go Tony Nese.
Yeah, his Nese had a great. Yeah. I like the idea of throwing Nese in there. He's done more than I think anybody in WWE expected him to do with this year, and I think he deserves the nod.
Okay. Pay-per-view of the year. WWE, by the way. Money in the Bank. Royal Rumble, Battleground, Hell in a Cell.
Since I can't remember anything specific off of them, I'm just glad you didn't name WrestleMania or SummerSlam, so I'm okay with it.
I knew better than... Well, WrestleMania was more of an attraction than a good wrestling event, so yeah. Best WWE feud of the year. AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. AJ Styles versus John Cena, Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz.
I personally have hated the Dolph Ziggler Miz feud.
And I've loved it.
And without coming off like an absolute homer, I would throw AJ Styles on there for a third time with his feud with Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Okay.
I'm just saying.
NXT feud of the year.
I just think Styles has done it all this year, dude. I think for the simple fact that he's in discussion for 3 feuds of the year is tremendous.
Yeah. And Sasha, Charlotte, maybe, but Jesus, we're getting burned out on that.
Yeah, I've had enough.
NXT.
If you would ask me that a couple weeks ago, I would have probably made the argument to put that on there, but I'm so done. I'm so done with that. I don't even want to think about it. So no.
NXT.
No award for you.
We're moving on. NXT feud of the year. Finn Balor, Samoa Joe. Asuka versus Bayley. Nakamura versus Samoa Joe. The Revival versus DIY.
Can't hate.
Ring of Honor feud of the year. Adam Cole versus Jay Lethal. The Addiction versus the Machine Guns. Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. War Machine versus Keith Lee and Shane Taylor.
Wow, you were really grasping for straws on that fourth one, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I could.
I will step up to the plate and remove that one for Mandy Leone versus Taylor Hendricks. Because I think they've had a very good feud that they feel like they're almost carrying themselves throughout the better half of this year.
Better than the one she's had with the other chick? Or was that not really a feud? That was just a few match.
I'm not even sure you're talking.
Jesus Christ. The girl that... God, what's her name?
I don't know who you're talking about.
She main evented the Women of Honor show with her, against her.
Are you talking about Hania?
Yeah, Hania.
Yeah, I didn't consider that a feud.
Okay.
They've had two great matches, but I wouldn't consider that a feud. Taylor and Mandy have had a feud. They have been feuding storyline wise for like the past 6 months.
Okay.
So they just recently had a no disqualification hardcore match in Philadelphia, which should be up on the Women of Honor YouTube page on Wednesday. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing that match. It should be pretty dope.
Another category that has been opened up to all wrestling companies, the What the Fuck Wrestling Moment of the Year. The nominees are...
Did the booking for the last 48 hours of the WWE product be nominated?
The nominees are The Rise of James Ellsworth, Billy Corgan versus TNA, Shane McMahon diving off the cell at WrestleMania, and the release of Damian Sandow.
I'm going to counter the release of Damian Sandow with the hot potatoing of the Raw Women's Championship.
Okay. Best moment of the year. Goldberg returns.
Yes.
The final deletion. AJ Styles' debut. Slater and Rhino winning the tag team titles.
I love them all. Can't hate that at all. Great picks.
Best NXT moment of the year. Nakamura's NXT debut. Sami Zayn's NXT goodbye.
Which is the same moment.
No, one was before the other.
No, it wasn't.
Well,
Nakamura debuted and defeated Sami Zayn in his goodbye.
Sami Zayn's NXT goodbye. The crowd reaction after the match.
To me, that's all one thing, and I loved every fucking minute of it. And you'd be hard pressed to tell me there's a better NXT moment this year than that.
Mickie James appearing on screen to challenge Asuka, and Nakamura returning to attack Samoa Joe.
See, I'm going to combine Nakamura's arrival and Zayn's exit into one moment, and I'm going to add a fourth of DIY capturing the tag team titles on the Revival.
Okay.
Because you can't tell me that wasn't one of the greatest moments of the year for NXT.
Oh, it was one of the greatest.
I would like to add an honorable mention of Bobby Roode's entrances all year long.
Those are glorious.
Glorious!
A brand new category for this year. I like to call it the best thing going on in wrestling today. This is also an all companies thing. Your nominees: Senor Benjamin, The List of Jericho, NXT TakeOver, Broken Matt Hardy.
There's nothing I can debate off of everything. I probably could add something to that, but there's nothing I wish to take away. So, Senior Benjamin's the man, dude.
I know, man. Best thing in wrestling today. That's kind of a statement I've used on the show a lot. And it's also kind of a take of Ric Flair saying, I'm the best thing going today. So the best thing going in wrestling today, The List of Jericho. Yeah. NXT TakeOver. Duh. Broken Matt Hardy, duh, and of course Senior Benjamin, man. These I might need help with. There's probably something I forgot, or we have a disagreement. But first, NXT match of the year. Actually, this one we probably won't have a disagreement.
I was going to say, well, I don't think we're not going to be on the same page here. You got to be on the right page here.
NXT match of the year. The nominees are DIY versus The Revival. 2 out of 3 falls at NXT TakeOver Toronto. Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura, July 13th edition of NXT. Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. And Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura, NXT TakeOver Dallas.
Yeah, I don't have any arguments there.
WWE match of the year. Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles at WWE TLC. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at Battleground. Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz at No Mercy. AJ Styles versus John Cena at SummerSlam.
I like it. I'm a little iffy on Styles and Ambrose at TLC.
That match was awesome.
I would have been
the ending.
I would have inclined to put their match at Backlash instead.
Maybe I'll go watch the two. Watch them again.
But yeah. For now, I'm okay with it. I would have leaned on their Backlash match.
Ellsworth aside, I thought the TLC match was so much better.
If Ellsworth wouldn't have been involved, I probably would agree with you. I think Ellsworth took away from it, and it's hard for me to give that a nod for match of the year due to Ellsworth's involvement. But that's just me.
3 categories left, and they are all Wrestler of the Year. Ring of Honor, Wrestler of the Year. Jay Lethal, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Dalton Castle.
I'm blanking at the moment, but I feel like Dalton Castle doesn't belong there.
I think it was a 3-horse race anyways, and I was struggling to find a fourth.
You're probably right. No offense to Dalton Castle, he's had a great year, but I can't put him in the same category as the other guys you just named.
I just put in the guy that's the most over.
No, I get it. I'll bow out to that.
Guarantee you're not going to have an argument with NXT Wrestler of the Year. The nominees are Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode.
Okay, look, as long as the glorious one was in there, we weren't going to have any problems. If Bobby Roode had not been in there, we would have had words.
And finally, we already spoiled this for you last week, but we'll give you the 3 runners-up plus the winner. WWE Wrestler of the Year. The nominees are Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and AJ Styles.
Can't hate.
That's our markies. We're going to maybe try to choose the winners in these next 10 minutes before SmackDown starts, maybe. We'll see. Or we'll try to get a few of them done. But we will unveil our winners with our first episode of the year, either January 5th or 12th, depending on what's going on here. But those are our nominations for the marquees. And I think before we unveil the winners, I will also kind of tally up the winners and total nominees and stuff and see who's leading after 2 rounds of marquees there. But that's going to do it for our last episode of Lost in the Midcard in 2016. Matt, hope you have a great Christmas.
You too, my friend. New Year.
It's been a
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of our listeners as well.
Exactly. So that's going to be our final thoughts for the day. We'll leave you with that instead of going through our usual spiel. Have a good Christmas. Have a good New Year. Be safe. Have a lot of fun. And we'll be back at you in 2017 with even more Lost in the Midcard.